turn down the opportunity. That said, let's call this to order and let's say the pledge. Let us pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Hamilton, will you call the roll?
Mr. Hostetler.
Present.
Mr. Jones.
Here.
Mr. Wallace.
Here.
Mr. Corman.
Present.
Mr. Ellison. Mr.
Here.
Pratt. Oh, there he is. Mr. Pratt.
Here.
Mr. Livingston. Here. Mr. Culbertson.
Here.
Judge Covington.
And present. That said, then, we have a quorum and we can conduct business. First item of consideration is the minutes from the previous meeting. Any questions or comments related to those as presented?
Judge, I wasn't here for the whole meeting, so I'm going to abstain.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion from Mr. Corman, second from Mr. Jones. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Transfers as presented. Questions or comments?
Motion.
Motion. Second from Mr. Livingston. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Bills and hand checks as presented. You have one additional hand check?
Yeah, I told most of them already.
All right. Let the record reflect you had one additional hand check in the amount of $123.83 out of the jail fund, paying a bill for Walmart. Any other questions or comments?
Motion to approve.
Motion from Kelly Corman, second from Rick Hostetler. Any other questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Let the record reflect that clerk fees in the amount of $232,798.29 was submitted by Rebecca Johnson. And then let the record reflect that fees in the amount of $60,405.75 were submitted by Sheriff Jeremy Nettles. Now, that leads us down to number 8, IT grant application. Mr. Culbertson and Mr. Chip Clark, y'all have any comments?
Yeah, I'm looking to apply for this CAECO grant for $10,000 to upgrade our Wi-Fi devices. The last quote that I got was for $19,573, but that was for 31. I'm just wanting to replace this particular brand that we've got. We don't have the same brand at all of our locations. So I'm actually right now only need 23. So I've done the math, and that would come out to $14,522.43. Hopefully, we would get the $10,000. So it's a 20% match, so we would just have to pay the $45.22. And that would be specifically right now for the courthouse and the attorney's office, upgrading theirs because they've come to the end of life support on these devices, and so we're getting to where we're not going to be able to control them or update them.
Question or comment?
I have a question. So if we don't get the grant, is this something we still need to do regardless?
We will do it eventually.
Okay.
Yes.
Does it need to be done now, or?
It does not
in your
need to be
opinion?
done right
Okay.
now.
But
It's
if we
just
get
the
the grant.
grant opportunity is here.
Okay.
Motion for approval.
Motion from Mr. Wallace, second from Mr. Livingston. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. County surplus desks, I think it's 3 or 4, and donating those to Stamping Ground City Commission. Any comments on that?
Motion.
Motion from Rob Jones, second from Ryan Pratt. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. EMS fee schedule adjustment. Chris Runyon.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
I'm asking today that you authorize me to adjust our fee schedule. We just changed that about a year ago and increased the rates based on what our neighbors are charging. But there's two line items in that fee schedule. It's called an ALS 2. That is currently $1,200. We want to raise that to $1,800, and that is due to the blood administration. So if we give blood, rather than charging $1,200, we would charge $1,800. That is significantly lower. Most places charge upwards of $4,000 for blood administration, so it's a minimal increase from that. And then the other one is specialty care, transport rates. So this is interfacility transports when there's numerous IV drips, heparin, those kind of things are given. We currently charge $1,300, and our new billing company has recommended we increase that to $1,950. So just for your consideration, if you think we should do that or not do that.
Most of those fees are up for blood, is close to
for blood
$4,000?
Yes, $4,500 is what the billing company said that from their research was the average. And they just said ours is way too low. You would probably, do you have any idea what you guys charge when you administer blood? No?
I have no idea.
No, okay.
Can,
Yes, sir,
mean,
Mr.
that's-
Livingston.
from 13 to 18 is, what is that?
Third.
That's $500.
No, I know, but percentage-wise, that's a huge jump. And we already know that health insurance is going to take huge increases next year. It's already out there in the marketplace.
Sure.
And this only drives it up even further. And I know they say that the comparable is 4,500, but what is the comparable? Who is that? I mean, that could be Seattle.
Right.
Or New York. That's not little old Georgetown,
Yeah,
Scott
there
County.
are so few agencies in the state that it's hard to get.
So how
average
does it,
there.
have you looked at how it would affect the revenue aspect and where it would?
So thus far, since we started carrying blood, we've administered it 2 times. So minimal at this point, but we expect that to grow.
Pay for the blood
We pay for the blood.
if we use it?
If we turn it in past its expiration date. So it's a two-week cycle. We have to take it up there. And if we administer it, I think it's $450 to replace it.
What if we give it to a patient? Do we pay for it then and then charge the patient?
$400, we do not charge the patient currently because we don't itemize bill. That's an ALS 2 rate, and we charge $1,200 for that run.
No matter how much blood is given?
No
But
matter
you're also
how much
getting-
drugs,
but you're also-
whatever.
Are y'all getting mileage,
Yes, we do charge mileage.
which is billed at a higher rate for an ALS2 compared to a BLS?
Yeah, and I can get all those numbers if you want to consider it, think about it. I can get you percentages. I can find out where they pulled the data from for the 4,500.
So how does that affect, like, our citizens? If they have insurance, it's probably mostly going to get paid there, but,
Correct.
you know, we've had discussions in the past about some of your bills being turned over to collection agencies,
Correct.
right? And
Correct.
which means they're coming after our citizens, and maybe that's all rightfully so. I'm just wondering what that looks like.
Yeah,
'Cause
so-
like David said, that's a pretty healthy increase.
So any patient, county resident that has a balance that their insurance doesn't pay, we allow them to set up payment plans as low as $10 a month. You know, we don't aggressively go after these folks. And I don't think we should.
I mean, we changed our billing partner because we wanted to make sure that we were having a partner that was doing everything they could
Correct.
to avoid that.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Right, no, that's what
To
I
avoid
was,
the
I
whole
was
collections
alluding to those
process, yeah.
conversations from.
We up here are never going to solve balance billing issues. I mean, that is a national issue.
Yeah.
My concern, though, is that, you know, when we increase at that level, what is the actual need based on what our expenses are? Because even if they have insurance, the citizens are still paying for insurance. I mean, you know, if you have a health insurance policy, you're paying a part of it probably. which just drives costs up for them as well. Or if the employer picks it up, then you're probably not going to see pay increases like you would want to see because the employer's picking up part of it. But then on the flip side of that is when folks don't pay their bill that is due because the insurance company may cut part of that fee collection out that they're not going to pay. We run into a scenario where it falls back onto our constituents again. So either way, at all ends of this, it's affecting citizens. And, you know, is it really necessary to increase that amount or even increase just because the billing company says so? I'm struggling with it right now. Because either way it goes back and affects the citizens regardless if it's increased prices on premiums for health insurance or it is the balance that doesn't get paid that we have to carry forward.
We're only talking about whole blood,
Yes.
and you've had two. We're not. That's the only two that we're, you know,
But
like.
as we grow, I mean, it's going to be, you know, but it still affects two people. And it matters whether it affects 100 or whether it affects
Well,
two.
I just wanted to make sure everybody knew the scope of, we're not talking about every run.
Every run,
We're
right.
talking about the trauma and that. If the pleasure of the court is to come back in 6 months and see how many times we've had runs that included this implementation of the whole blood program, and then maybe you could have additional data that shared where we were drawing this average from. If that's the pleasure of the court, then that's the direction we can go. Now, the other issue was, though, you had one other request, correct? Not just the whole blood, but
Yes, the specialty care transfer.
Well, I would just like to say, though, too, that it does kind of affect everybody, right? If we lose money on this run, like, we as a court have to pay for it, which affects all the citizens. So, like, if they gave 2 units of blood, you're talking $900. Like, we've now lost tons of money on just that one run that now everybody in the whole county is going to pay for. So, I mean, it does affect people.
Define tons of money. I'm confused.
Well, I mean, if you have,
It's relative.
it's relative.
No, I mean, but when you make it, I'm just curious.
But like
This is something.
I guarantee EMS alone, like with probably Medicaid and uninsured, I'm gonna guess we run a net negative already, a huge one. So now you're just adding to that net negative. There's no way that they pay for their costs off of insurance.
But if we don't use it, Chris, you said you have to turn it back in. It costs
Yes, so
$450 to replace it.
excuse me, every
So we're
2
gonna lose
weeks.
money anyway.
We recycle that blood. We don't pay for that. They take it back and give it to UK so that.
we
it will
only
get-
pay for it if we are negligent in turning it back in at the approved time,
Or if we administer it, we have to pay. to
or if we
replace it.
administer it.
I thought I heard him
Yeah.
say if he had to turn it
Yeah.
back in, it costs us $4.
Yeah, only if we,
Yeah, so we make sure we rotate it, sorry, I help with the blood as well.
Natalie,
Natalie, yes, sorry.
Assistant Chief Natalie.
Yes, yes, sir. We make sure that we rotate it a week before the expiration date so that we can provide it to UK so that blood is never wasted. It's too precious, right? We can all agree with that. So we make sure that it's not at the cost of any of us. We only charge the citizen if it's used. And again, we make sure that we are evident. Myself, Battalion Chief Matt Martin are calling KBC and making sure that we rotate it so that it is never expires. We're negligent, as you say, so we make sure.
Is it possible for you to maybe just inquire and ask about where they drew the $4,500 average, where they drew that number from, and then we can come back in September, at the end of September, with that additional piece of data, and then you can make an informed decision off of where they drew that average from.
thank you.
All right, thank you.
Below average on whole blood and specialty care transports, which are the inter-facilities from hospital to hospital.
But those are voluntary, most of those are voluntary requests, correct?
The transfers, no.
The specialty care in between facilities, so it's not the voluntary
Right,
ones.
so that would be Georgetown calling us and saying we have a patient that needs to get
Yes.
higher level care, they need to go to Baptist or UK. And if they have more than 2 medications being administered, it falls into that specialty care rate.
Are y'all doing pre-approval for IFT or no?
We were doing pre-approvals, but then they told us they were no longer needed. So
It was required and then no longer.
Yeah.
Your billing company told you it wasn't required?
I think that came down from K-beams. I'll find
We
out
can
where
look into
that,
that.
where
I would ask
where
about
that
that.
information came from. But yeah, so the specialty care is kind of a unique.
So
If we're just taking somebody to
Do
the
you all need
hospital-
any other
hospital.
additional information on the specialty care transport? Just the blood?
And
All right.
also with the blood, there's only a handful of our providers that are able to administer the blood as well. It's not just any paramedic on our ambulance with EMTs. We have in our protocol with our medical director, Dr. Ramsey, that specifically credentialed our critical care paramedics. So it's also an additional cost to credential our critical care paramedics that are a higher level of care than, say, our paramedics on our street. So they are credentialed specifically through our medical director and authorizing to give blood on that as well. So we're looking at making sure that they stay credentialed and staying with their education and things. So we got to consider that as well, that we have to make sure that they're keeping up to par with that standard as well.
Rick?
So on the specialty care, what was the increase? What was that
It was
number?
from $1,300 to $1,950 for specialty care. And that's just based on their clients, what they charge. So this new billing company.
So I'm assuming you make a lot of those runs?
We do. Well, we do a lot of transfers. I wouldn't say we do a lot of specialty care transfers. So they have to have 2 or more medications running, being administered by the hospital that we're going to have to transport. It's right. So these, I call them line items, but these, the itemized list of what we bill for is set at a federal level. So we don't get to say, oh, you know, we run a BLS call, but we did 2 or 3 extra treatments, so we're charging more. So there's criteria for each one of those. And what we do get to say is what we're going to charge for each one of those. So specialty care is interfacility transports from one hospital to another that have at least 2 or more medications, or as on a ventilator, you know, specialty care, things that, you know, you need more, a critical care paramedic for, like Natalie mentioned. So we are paying to get them certified, paying to keep them certified.
But we're taking ambulance out of our county too.
Correct.
That comes
Since
down to
you-
that partnership with the hospital as well.
So we'll circle back to this with additional information. And if you get the information prior, let's share that.
Absolutely.
So everybody can have time to digest. And then while you're standing there, talk about an ambulance. The new ambulance should be operational, activated next week.
Well, we will have it. It'll be delivered. We're waiting on some equipment from Stryker to get it serviceable. So we need
And then-
power load installed and all the equipment that's part of that ALS 360
Okay.
agreement.
And then the ambulance that was in the vehicle accident, it is at Paul Miller still?
It's still at the county garage.
It's still at the county
Yeah,
garage?
so we were waiting to determine what we wanted to do because the estimate that we got from the adjuster would indicate it's not totaled, but that's just going off purchasing a cab and chassis.
And that was $37,000.
Yeah, but for the upfit, you know, to get the labor and all the things done, the wiring and all that, a company that does that said it would be at least $156,000. So the truck was valued at $145,000. So we were actively working on getting additional quotes from other upfitters. And then I think we were going to reapproach Keiko with that information and say, you know, your adjuster's not considering.
Yes, we got a check Wednesday for the
From-
37, I think, 6, but minus the deductible, 36 something.
So if
We
we,
need to move.
if we took that to Paul Miller and had them correct the mechanical issues, and then submitted to Keiko, and I need guidance here, but if there was additional you know, cost, can we submit that?
Well, it's not, the cab itself is not replaceable. It is totaled.
No,
Yeah, so
We're
we
talking
have
about
to
the
take
box,
the
yeah.
box off
Yes.
that and put it, so Paul Miller couldn't do that. It has to go to somebody that can actually lift that patient compartment off, drive a new chassis under it, set it down, wire it up, look at all the things.
I would suggest having a conversation with Jeremy Head at Keiko who's head of claims, and you all and the judge and Stacy,
Sure.
since Stacy's got all the paperwork and stuff, is have a conversation with him and explain that to him, because if you just go straight to Jeremy.
We'll schedule a conference call.
Okay. And Stacy, that check that you received may have been for the prior ambulance, because that was the estimate. And we've wrecked 2 recently. And I think did we get a check for that one too? We did? Okay, and for the Tahoe, you got a check for that? Okay. All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Master at Livingston. Next is EMS new hires.
Yes, good morning, everyone. On behalf of Chris Rooney, I'm pleased to recommend the appointment of 4 individuals as part-time educators. These people have been working with us as independent contractors, and we're just addressing the situation so they get paid as employees, which is probably how they should have been paid all along. So it's just a correction.
It's a part-time rate.
Yep, the part-time rate. So the 4 individuals are Travis Strittmatter, Michael Walker, Chris Crow, and Jonathan Baker. And they'll be placed on payroll starting on September 15th, so they'll be beginning on or after that date. And their pay rate will be $23.95, which is the same rate we have for the other part-time educators. And these are people that primarily work with our EMT and advanced EMT program. So that's for your approval.
Questions, comments? Motion from Kelly Corman. Second, Mr. Jones. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Okay.
And we'll come back at new business for any other new hires. Net Recovery Agreement Amendment. I've been in touch with Jeff Lott and shared documentation related to an amendment to the existing agreement, which would be for an additional 20 patients to be treated at $3,500 per treatment, and that is through the opioid settlement funds. And this is kind of a 2-part conversation, because Jella Broyles had brought up to me, with the Isaiah House not having that IOP wraparound services here in town, he had one individual that was in need because they did not have private insurance and wasn't currently signed up for Medicaid or Medicare. Just really didn't have an option for after the net device treatment and after being released from the detention center. So it's a 2-part conversation. And, I'd shared with you all as well, Jeff Lott had shared survey data that they have done with clients that have been treated. And the feedback that was shared with us was that individuals are reporting, over 75% of the individuals that have been treated are reporting that they are not currently using opioids. Is that correct, Rick? That's what I
saw, yeah.
Yeah, so that's in my mind a very good piece of data.
And Judge Jeff, Mr. Lott explained in that email that, some of the clients that have been treated, they don't have a phone number, they change phones, or if they're still incarcerated, they don't have communication opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, but yes, we all saw the email, and that's kind of the numbers they've been talking with me about.
Yeah. And then I also had a conversation with Brian Privet, who had worked or still does work part-time with the Isaiah House as a legal counsel, and brought up what Jella Broyles had mentioned about the client possibly, we'd talked, could a opioid settlement dollars be used for those net device patients that needed residential treatment. And one thing Brian Privet felt like that if they did not have private insurance, that those type of providers, like the Isaiah House, Shepherd's House, had really good staff that helped connect and get folks signed up for Medicaid or Medicare. Jella Broyles was the one individual that you were working with. Did they get connected? So they're good? Yes, Judge. Okay. So so maybe that's not as pressing right now, and we can continue to try to.
I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
Where you're at. So the jail makes sense, right? I get if somebody's at the jail and they need the net device. But if somebody's at the health department or anywhere and they need the net device and they identify, hey, this person needs it, part of the agreement is, right, is that prior that they would take them to the Isaiah house and do the whole thing. It's like now if somebody goes to the health department.
We don't have.
What do we do with that? Where does that person go?
We do not have a local provider that can administer that and wrap them around. But
so should we do all of these at the jail?
Well, these would be. I think primarily we're taking care of individuals that are incarcerated that want to look at the net device as an option. These next 20, we're just making sure individuals there have this as an option. We don't have an outside provider that's somebody at the health department, but we need to communicate with the health department. If you have someone that comes and wants, then we need to get connected with Jeff Lott. Jeff Lott's also working with Mary Safe Haven. They've treated 3 individuals there. Mary Safe Haven is local for females, so that's a good option. But for males, I can't answer that we have a good option.
So it's my understanding for this whole time that the money that we're allocating, opioid settlement funds that we've already done, that's strictly gone to Net Recovery Corporation. And then, but they have, I don't know what that looks like, but to my knowledge, they're still able to use the men's facility in Willisburg. That's where they've sent people before.
And Brian Privet said the men's facility in Willisburg.
And for ladies in Harrodsburg, I believe they're still the Isaiah House, but it's ladies in I think it's Harrodsburg or Danville. I think it's Harrodsburg. And then now recently, they've been working with Mary Safe Haven. And I have talked to Julie Gray. She's the director there, and they've treated at least 3, if not 4, ladies. And here's something, and I don't know all of the details on this, but one lady has been treated from, I believe, maybe I shouldn't talk about this because I'm not positive of the details. But what the net device folks are able to do, there are other counties that are coming on board, and so they're shifting they're taking them to, for example, Isaiah House. If they're going to send a male to the Isaiah House, they come and get them. But that's worked out apart from anything we're doing. The way I understand it, the net device folks are working with other treatment facilities because it still has to be done in-house, and that's what's unique about what's going on at our jail. There are some other jails that have recently come on board, from what I understand. I don't think anybody's doing it with the kind of the process that we are here in Scott County. I mean, Judge Broyles can give you much more information than me, but it's all of this money, even what we're talking about for 20 more folks, that's just a payment per person going to net recovery folks. It's their deal to get, they're either treating in the jail or they're working something out with Mary Safe Haven. I don't know what that looks like. We don't see that side of it, right? Or they can still call the Isaiah House.
Chris?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention too that to Ryan's point, Magistrate Pratt's point, that Brandon is an excellent resource for those folks that lack insurance or are needing that kind of, in touch with the right people. He works with the net device folks. And then also, in the near future, we'll be adding a social worker to our community paramedicine program, so that'll be another resource for
So
folks outside
he's
the jail.
already communicating with the
Oh, yes.
net device. Well, I thought so, but
Yes. Yeah, so I just wanted to make folks aware, if we're talking outside the jail, reach out to Brandon. He'd be a good resource to help them get insurance or get help.
Thank you for that, Chief, yeah.
Anything else? And, I think the main question we have right now is just, do we want to continue supporting the net recovery program that we have and it being primarily administered through our detention center with jailer Broyles?
Do you know?
But not exclusively.
Not exclusively.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know approximately what the balance is in those funds?
Over $500,000. 519 to be exact.
So have we started talking internally about what's next after those funds are exhausted?
I've been to two opioid settlement fund, like one online webinar, and then I went in person to CAECO to try to listen to what other folks are doing. So Michelle and I went to one at CAECO, and I can put together some thoughts, but I've not got a plan in place. But I've been to two sessions trying to see what others do.
Yeah, and the reason I ask is because, say those funds last 3 or 4 years, we might not be here in 3 or 4 years, and it'd be nice to have some type of a plan that a future court just doesn't say, hey, we're out, we're stopping.
There's Michelle. Would you like to step to the podium and share?
Not really, but.
Let's go.
Those
My plan
funds are
worked.
to continue, I believe, for 20
Pardon?
years. The funds are to continue for up to 20 years, I believe.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, it's a perpetual
And-
through the
but
settlement.
the funds, the payments
But the payments decrease.
decrease over time.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, but
but-
there will be a flow.
But the additional information is that, we've joined additional settlements as
That's
well.
correct. Yeah, I don't think we know at this point what the amount of payments are. I've been told that.
But I think
There are 2 or 3 more.
I think we've done 2 or 3 more. We joined 2 or 3 more settlements. So
Sackler settlement and a group of 8 settlements.
I'm like you, David. How do we use those funds and don't just sit on them? And you've talked about, and we're not going to name names, but other colleague counties in Kentucky that have over $1 million and haven't spent a dollar.
Right.
And those funds should be going to help people that are struggling with addiction now.
So, Judge, if I'd love to continue this conversation, but
We all know you would.
well, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion and get this one off our table.
So we have a motion.
Second.
Is there a second? Who's the second? Rob Jones with a second. Any other questions or comments?
I would just add that I actually kept the CAECO payout, so payments go through 2038. But they significantly dropped to about $68,000 a year, coming up very soon. So,
Thank you, Ryan.
through 2038.
So we have a motion, we have a second, we have any other comments? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. And Jailer Broyles, appreciate you. We'll continue to coordinate with Jeff Lott.
So maybe, Judge, at the end, under new business or whatever, we'll come back to this conversation. I've got some ideas, and it'd be nice to have, where'd she go, Michelle's input, because this opioid settlement money is pretty much fenced in. It can only be spent in that world,
And that-
right?
Yeah.
I don't know where Michelle went, but.
That's correct. And Cam
And even for the aftercare, like Jailer Broyles is talking about, some of this money that we have, if it's, of course, we'd have to have direction from Michelle in my view, but I think that can be used to help folks get into Isaiah House or Shepherd's House or a facility that would meet their needs.
Yeah, I think that's a permissible use of the funding.
Right.
Under the guidelines.
I think we need to have that discussion. I don't know if you want to do it now or maybe in new business.
But I specifically asked Brian Privet about using opioid settlement funds, and he felt like that those institutions, those organizations are really effective if they don't have private insurance, getting them connected to Medicaid, and not having to use opioid settlement funds.
He's saying don't use it?
You don't have to
So
because
not unless you have to.
unless you,
I got you.
he's saying that those,
Usually
You can
necessary.
connect
not
them with
necessary.
Medicare, Medicaid.
they
Right.
connect them with Medicare.
But if they
Medicaid.
don't have that, then this could be used. That's right, yeah. So,
As a side note for that, for those facilities, according to KRS, they have to be, also, the facility needs to not only, they have to be able to offer medical or medicinal support as well.
okay.
So the places that have the, I'm not sure what they're called, not Noxalone or whatever that's called, they have to be able to provide that as well. Not just
Narcan.
strictly non-medicinal, but they have to offer
Oh,
medicinal as
like,
well.
like the methadone,
That's
Suboxone?
it, yes.
Yeah.
That has to be an option as well for them to be able to be
Yeah,
utilized.
it's crazy. The device takes them off of that stuff.
Right. But as long as it's offered.
Sure.
As long as
No.
it's an option.
I have heard
it can
that
still-
now that you brought that up, yeah.
So, won't we circle back to this? Let me
Yeah,
get some, like some CAECO best practices that they're seeing that other counties are doing.
Right.
Include your thoughts as well, and then we can look at other options in the future. Does that sound like all right to you?
it does. I'll end it with this. My goal is to see these people become productive citizens, go on about their life, raise their families apart from the world of addiction, whatever that looks like. And I think they need, I think the net device puts these folks, as far as recovery, it puts it on steroids. It's such an amazing transition that happens with these folks. I've met several, I'm helping some folks that have been treated, their whole, it's just amazing what happens in a week's time when they're treated. But they got, for lack of a better term, a lot of baggage, lot of destruction in their past that needs to be cleaned up,
Yeah.
and they need
And
this help.
Those wraparound services and,
Yes.
and peer support, I think it's huge.
Thanks,
So, no, thank you. Bridge, bids for bridge projects, I'm very excited about this.
Yeah.
I appreciate JR's help, everybody's help on this. The amount of work that goes into these applications, then, once you get awarded, it's great, but then you have to follow their guidelines, their requirements, and HMB, we're very thankful to have HMB help us navigate that, but it takes time, and we got the bids back this week. HMB came and helped do the opening, and they are reviewing the bids. They're doing a bid tabulation sheet. I can unofficially share with you what we received. For Mount Horeb, Hinkle Construction was $832,660. Todd Johnson Construction was $636,753.36. So Hinkle is doing their due diligence and are supposed to get to us the bid tabulation and recommendation, official recommendation. HMB, I'm sorry. And then on the North Race Fork Bridge, you had 3 bids. You had JAV LLC at $463,633.30, Hinkle Construction at $499,470.17, and Todd Johnson Construction again at $440,347.80, being the low bidder on both projects. Just so everyone understands, in order to be able to bid on this, they have to be pre-qualified with the state, and that kind of does the references and such. But JR shares that Todd Johnson Construction is out of Danville, have been around for quite some time, and done a lot of projects, and not necessarily here in Scott County, but JR is aware of their work. So what I would ask is you all to consider making a motion contingent on HMB's recommendation and thumbs up approval to accept the low bid of Todd Johnson for Mount Horeb and Todd Johnson Construction for North Race Fork at those bid amounts, contingent upon HMB. Motion.
I'm gonna make a second, but I'd like to make a comment too. And I just want to thank you personally for, one of the bridges is my district, and I've had a few calls, but we got on this immediately, or you did. And it just shows you how long these things take. And I don't know exactly how many months that a bridge will be out, but it'll be a pretty good amount of time. But man, we've done everything we can to go as quick as possible.
We've done everything we can, and hey, we could have put out our bid ourselves, and we could have used general fund, road fund dollars. But I think we're being good stewards by chasing this, grant application and using the grant monies. And yeah, is it the most convenient thing for our citizens at the time? No, but I think the big picture is, I agree with you, trying to be good stewards of dollars. And I appreciate that, Kelly, and appreciate the court's support on that. We have a motion. Is there a second from Kelly? Any other questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. That leads us to, I have a couple things in new business. We have fire department recommendation for promotion, and then I want to talk about dates for our October 4th work session. That is the end of fall break, and I'm scheduled to be out of town. Cam is scheduled to be out of town. Ryan's going to be out of town. So I'd like to look at rescheduling that. I'm sorry, the 3rd. Yes, the 3rd. And then I also want to go ahead and get your all's input on November, that business meeting that falls on Thanksgiving, and then the Christmas Day business meeting that actually falls on Christmas Day. So if you'll get your calendars out, we have October 3rd is the first one, and would you all? We have a meeting on the 10th. We could do two things. We could have a special called work session on the 6th or 7th, or we could cancel the work session altogether, or we could come in and just roll it all into the 10th.
So, are you foreseeing anything?
I don't
for
have
that workshop for the
only thing, and we won't get this back, but Rob's been involved, Chad's been heavily involved. I was there again last night. Several of us were there a few weeks ago at a forum about the RV park ordinance, but that's not going to come to us until October, late in the middle of October. I shared that draft with you all, so I don't have a lot of pressing items on the docket for that work session.
I prefer to just roll it into the meeting on the 10th.
All right. So there's a motion to just cancel. A second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Now let's move on to November. You've got the 27th, which is a business meeting for us on November 27th. I think Stacy recommended either the 25th or the 26th at 9 a.m. I would probably prefer the 25th. We have less bills to be able to process if we do it on the 25th as compared to the 26th. But I didn't know who was traveling, and the day before Thanksgiving. If nobody's traveling, we're working that day. It's not like we're off on the 26th, but nobody's traveling. We can do it to the 26th, and we can maximize getting the most bills. Everybody okay with the morning at 9 a.m.?
On the 26th, yeah.
So is there a motion? Motion from Rob Jones, second from Ryan Pratt. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And then that moves us to the 25th. That is a business meeting on 25th of December. Definitely don't want to do it on Wednesday the 24th. You could do it on the 23rd. We are working on that day, but it's the same story. It's just we have less bills to be able to process, and we'll process more in the next month. I probably just telling you what I would prefer. I'd prefer to go on the 23rd at 9 a.m. as compared to pushing it to like the 29th or 30th. Just people are out and about and here, there, and yonder. what do you all think about the 23rd at 9 a.m.?
Works for me. I'd make a motion.
Me too.
Motion second from Chad Wallace. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Other calendar day, the city will set at their next meeting Halloween, but it's a no-brainer this year. It's on a Friday night, 6 to 8, so we'll do that at our next meeting as well. We'll call up Jeff Mudder. Yes, Dwayne Ellison.
Would you mind to send those dates and change out on email so I
Yes.
not worry about it?
No.
Write them down.
Yes, we'll do that. Yes, sir. I'll ask Stacy to help remind me to do that. And then Jeff Mudrack, John Ward, we have a promotion as fire trucks go by.
Yes, that's right. On behalf of Chief Ward, I'm pleased to recommend the appointment of Fabian Shields as our next battalion chief. Fabian has more than 23 years of experience and has served in 3 departments. He's also served in a leadership role for more than 12 years. We're recommending the promotion be effective September 13th, which is tomorrow. It's the start of the next pay period. And the new pay rate will be $26.85 an hour. And I know that Chief Ward has some additional comments.
John, would you like
to
to make some comments?
Yes. Judge, magistrates, our recommendation of Mr. Shields, it involves, just like the years of service that Jeff just mentioned, his years of experience serving in that company officer position. That in itself brings a wealth of knowledge and experience into this position that he's going. But over the course of his career, he's constantly demonstrated the leadership, professionalism, and the dedication to serving the citizens of this community in that time frame. He's received Firefighter of the Year award. He holds several technical rescue certifications, which then is going to help him command those type of special operations. Through that extensive experience that he brings, his time in those, his trustworthiness, his ability to communicate effectively, those are qualities that we feel make him well suited to serve in this position.
Thank you, John. Questions or comments?
I do. I've said this before. I'll say it again.
Yeah.
I'm against this because I think it sets a huge precedent and message to our young firefighters. Hey, come here, work hard, but when you retire, we're going to hire a retiree back, right? That's my concern. Like, there's no, I just think it's going to hurt morale for our young people to say, man, I can come to Scott County, I can work hard, and I can advance. But that's not really the message we're sending them. We're sending them, hey, not really, because somebody's going to retire, we're going to hire him back, and then, he could leave at any time, and then we're just back here in this situation again. So, that's why I'm not for this. I don't know this gentleman at all. He's probably super qualified. But I think that if he's the leader you say he is, I think he probably understands what I'm saying. Man, this has got to hurt the young firefighters.
Right.
When you go to bed at night, the question that I ask myself, and I've asked John and I've asked Chief Baker this, and please know that you have every right to your concern, and I want the best for our, but when we're considering a position, and it's the battalion chief position, and you're hiring that person who's going to lead, if there's a fire at Toyota, if there's a fire at Crumball Road, they're going to be on scene, they're going to lead, and they're going to be, and I'm not discounting what you're saying, but he's eligible to apply. He has how many years? 13 years as a company officer, and if we want to eliminate retirees coming back and working, then that's a decision that the court would have to make collectively, and I would not support that because I think it's not allowing for experienced people that want to continue to work to have that opportunity. But back to my point, when I go to bed at night and put my head on, I want the best candidate, the most experienced person to lead that agency, on shift, and that's what I think, and that's a question I always ask him. And I don't disagree with you that you can be concerned, and it's a concern that younger firefighters, might not feel like they have the opportunity to advance. But I think you had 4 applicants. You interviewed 4 different applicants, and this is who you felt like was the best for the position.
And I want you to know I definitely hear your concerns. I do.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yes.
Would he have been eligible 2 months ago? Or is he eligible now because of the?
No. He was eligible.
From firefighter? Was he a lieutenant or was he a firefighter?
He was a firefighter.
He was a firefighter.
Like he's technically a firefighter now.
No, I understand that. But now he's a captain, correct? Or is he is he a firefighter currently?
He's a firefighter. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think anybody's saying we don't hire retirees. Nobody said that. My concern is, I understand best qualified, best experience, but if we don't give people the opportunity who have the qualifications, the experience to do it now, to get the experience as battalion chief, they'll never get there. And, so part of the complaint of going and ridding the, doing away with the position of lieutenant was that that's a step that they don't get. And so now when we hire a firefighter in that has a lot of experience and then all of a sudden jumps over everybody to go to battalion chief, regardless of the fact that a retiree, if there are others that are qualified that can do the job, you still have him on scene as a firefighter that can help provide guidance if needed. So you still need the experience of firefighters. You're not going to send us out there to fight fires. So you still hiring retirees that are on scene that are going to have the experience. They are on the scene of 20 plus years because they've retired and come back. But that doesn't mean that we automatically put people in over currently qualified people that could fill the battalion chief role. And it's unfortunate, or maybe it's not unfortunate, that statutes and ordinances and everything draws us into this conversation. And I normally do not get involved and don't argue against hirings and promotions and things like that. But with what we just did as a court, eliminating the lieutenant position and making everyone captains, and then all of a sudden we have this, every captain there is being leapfrogged. It doesn't feel good to me. I'm going to abstain because I would like to see all the documentation from the interview process and everyone's thoughts that's on paper before I would ever vote for this.
Right. Here's what I want to say is, like it or not, our department is young. We have a total of 15 company officers that that could be or become eligible to promote into the BC level. Of those 15, 5 of them met the qualifications, or 6 of them met, including Mr. Shields, but met the qualifications. 10 of them, 10 of our company officers do not have enough time on the job to apply for this position. That's the struggles that we're faced with. I totally agree. This is not a perfect scenario. So of those 5 that were eligible to apply, only 3 applied. The other 2 didn't apply. I wish they would have, but they didn't. So that was 3 of our current company officers, of the 5 that they applied. That's the struggle we're in, is youthfulness of our department.
And that's not always a bad thing. I mean,
No, it's not. No, it's not. And
But-
but we're continuing to develop our people to get them to the point that they're ready to step in this position. This is a high-level command position.
And
a
here's,
lot of-
I've not received any calls from anybody complaining about this.
Yeah.
6 months.
I'd venture to say there's quite a few people that don't even know this is on the agenda because it's under new business. I didn't know it until the email came. So, it just, I'm bothered by it, and so I'm not going to vote against it because I don't want to vote against your wishes,
Right.
but I'm going to abstain from it and not support it or be against it.
I just hope you all know that I would never come before you all and make any request for you all on a decision that was not well thought of, that was not a lot of time and effort put into it. Like, I agree, it's not a perfect scenario, but what I'm giving you at this point in time is the best recommendation.
Yeah,
And I would
I'm
never,
not-
I would
this is-
never do.
This is not questioning your abilities, your decision-making. Just like when I talk to the leaders of EMS, I'm not questioning their abilities, and we're putting the decision that we have to make a vote, so we have to ask for what we fully understand. And to show that I'm not questioning your abilities, I'm not voting against it. I'm going to abstain because I feel I don't have enough information in order to support it or to be against it.
So answer this question. 6 months ago, if this vacancy had occurred, would Mr. Shields been eligible to apply?
Yeah, he's applied several different times.
So this has nothing to do with the change that we
No,
made.
he's-
Zero.
Has he applied 3 or 4 times in different BCs?
Okay, and that was my question.
Yes.
So,
And then
Yeah, he
next,
has.
the next question is, how many years has he been back serving since he retired?
Almost 2.
He came back in December of 2023.
And he's
So he almost 2.
almost 2. But prior to that, he had been with us for 20 years and served 13 years as a
A little over 12, yeah, 12, 13, yeah. As a company officer.
in a leadership position. He also served at Frankfurt Fire Department at the same time, correct?
And he also served for Franklin County before he began.
Coming here,
Okay.
yeah.
And, this coming under new business, just to address that, Mr. Livingston, the position was posted. How long was it posted?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yes.
We
And
did
all the candidates were told that we were bringing it to the court on Friday for our recommendation for your approval. They were all told that. It was my fault not getting with Stacy to make sure it was on the agenda. But after she had emailed out the agenda, I'd contacted Jeff and said we didn't get,
And I said,
I'm not questioning
Yeah.
that there's anything.
I'm not trying to hide anything.
I'm just saying that there wasn't a lot of time to ask questions, except in me.
I have a question.
Kelly,
So, and this is just hiring practices, and this kind of goes to what Ryan was talking about, but if he were to retire next year, the guy that, Mr. Shields, and says, okay, I decide I'm going to retire again.
well, he's not really retiring. He'd just leave us. Yeah,
He's already retired.
Well,
Yeah.
can't, whatever it is, he leaves.
yeah.
And I don't like what ifs, but because it's a hiring practice, so I don't know the answer to this. Would you then feel like you need to go outside of the company then to look for somebody that has the experience to bring in, or do you want to promote somebody from within?
No, and like coming up the end of this month, we have 3 more company officers that would then become eligible for this spot. So
I just,
again,
kind
I'm
of like
trying.
Ryan, I like the young guys, like, they might be here another 10 or 15 years. They're motivated and ready and nothing against, but I'm concerned like Ryan is, like, what's the message of, but that answers some of my question is like, we don't think we have to go outside of the
No.
department again. We could fill it within.
Well, just like this, I'm trying to fill it within right now.
But he's in our department as we speak.
Yeah.
No, I understand that, but we could hire a new firefighter next month that's retired or quit or whatever, and then a year from now saying, oh, well, that guy's got all the experience, let's put him back into it. And that goes to Ryan's point, which is like, where do our guys say, well, where do we get the break?
Well, just kind of like Revel. Like Revel's an amazing human being. No issues with him at all. But like he came in right from Georgetown to here.
Well, he worked here too.
Both.
Oh, I know he worked both, but still, right? I mean, kind of like that, right?
And you know, we look back to that time when we had to fill that BC training road, and we looked internal first and foremost, and we just didn't feel that there was internal candidates that would be a good fit at that point in time. That's why we did internal and external. And like you said, the preference is always internal. That is my preference. But I also have a duty as the chief to bring you all a recommendation who I feel, not just feel, but know that can meet those qualifications and that can do that job. Because it's a disservice if I put somebody in a position just because I don't want to upset something. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at what's best for this department, what's best for these members, because at the end of the day, you know, Rebel, that was a tough decision. It was, because I would rather have filled it from within. But I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that it was a tough decision then, but fast forward till now, it was a great decision because he's done nothing but excellent work since he's been in that role. I mean, our training ground is getting ready to be complete. He has oversaw that. I mean, he has done exceptional managing the day-to-day training for the department members.
Can I bring something closer to home?
Yeah,
You came from outside.
I did.
And I was on the hiring committee. And that was a very, very tough decision.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, for others, you were and are the best selection. So I'm not pushing. We're not trying to say that we don't want to go outside. We would prefer to be internal.
That's exactly.
But this is a perfect example of we had the opportunity for a proven leader to come in and that we had seen do things in the community and to do this. So I'm getting both sides of it. That's, so I'm not discounting what you're saying. I wasn't a part of this and I have questions about it, which is why I'm not going to vote up or down.
And that's why I'm trying to assure you all, this decision is not taken lightly whatsoever. And I hear your concerns. I have those concerns. But at the end of the day, it's my responsibility to come before you all and make a recommendation that I know is what's going to be best for the members that are going to be under his command. It's my responsibility. Even though it's a very hard decision, I'm willing to step up and make that decision because I know it's the right decision. It's right for all those members. And I know and I understand there's going to be some frustration from some because of this whole him being a firefighter or retiring and coming back. I get that. But at the end of the day, even though it's hard, even though it's tough, I'm not going to sway away from making those good, tough decisions because I know it's the right decision.
Comment.
Questions? Rob Jones.
I'm just thinking about how I do it in my company, and I've had to make that same decision before because hiring a supervisor brought somebody up that had only been there 3 years compared to people been there 5, 6, 7 years, and it worked out great in our situation. But I've seen it where it didn't work out so good, and in the near future, I'm going to have to make decisions further as I wind down my career, just like chiefs. You got to step up and make those decisions. And I respect your decision, and I'd like to go ahead and make the motion on that promotion.
So we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll make a second.
Second from Kelly Corman. Any other questions or comments? let's do a roll call vote.
Mr. Hostetler?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
Mr. Corman?
Yes.
Mr. Ellison?
Yes.
Mr. Pratt?
I'm a no, but not because I don't trust the chief or I don't know Mr. Shields at all. Couldn't pick him out of the lineup. I really thought his name was Michael. I didn't know it was Fabian. I'm sorry.
Hopefully he's not in a lineup.
Yeah, well, but just for what I said, right, I think that for the younger firefighters, they have to have something to look for, and I'm scared that we're not going to do that if we keep looking at that, so.
Mr. Livingston?
And as I said earlier, I'm going to abstain because I would have liked to have had more information on the process and
Judge
why the
Pepper?
decision was made.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you
Appreciate
all.
your time.
Could I make a request for new business for out-of-state travel?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
You want me to drive?
Are you picking up a truck?
September the 30th through October 2nd, we're scheduled to go to Wisconsin for the final inspection for the ladder truck. The members would be Baker, Oliver, Adam White, Willems, and myself.
Questions or comments?
I'm sorry, where's it at?
Wisconsin.
Motion.
And it's for the final inspection of the ladder truck.
Motion.
Second.
Second from Mr. Hostetler. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
How long after that inspection do you get the truck?
So the final, after we get there, we'll go through that thing just every inch of it. And depending on what we find, hopefully it's very little that they'll have to fix, whatever issues that are there. And they're telling me, as long as it's nothing major, 4 to 5 days, it'll roll out of there and go to Atlantic's Shelbyville facility location. They like to run through it, and then probably 2 or 3 days there, and it'll be coming to us.
Sounds good.
So, and
Thank you.
Once it gets to us, we already got teams working on making sure we got all the mounting brackets there, and they'll start the process of getting everything like tool equipment wise mounted on it. And so, because we want to fast track getting that thing in line. In service
Just
as
one
soon
more
as
question. How long does it took to get that truck? 'Cause y'all started on that way before I was on the court, didn't you?
20
years.
Early, or late 21, early
21 is what early 21, I thought it was.
Maybe, yeah.
Wow.
And that apparatus is paid for out of budget last year, I believe, actually.
Yeah.
And,
So.
the total price, I think we're paying for that one,
It was 1.1 maybe, or a little over 1.
now, I recently shared that those prices have gone up significantly.
Yeah, that truck right now, if we were to sign a contract, would probably be over $1.5 million.
So,
I know it's crazy.
but I appreciate the leadership of the fiscal court and supporting the apparatus request, because we're replacing a 26-year-old apparatus that's struggling to get parts, and then the 3 pumpers are 20, 18, and 16 years old that we have on tap to come online. 2 of those I think we're going to reserve one of them, and then 2 of them look at surplus.
So the pumpers?
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to evaluate
That 16-year-old one will go into reserve.
We want to make sure that we don't run into a problem where we're at right now. We currently have a Lexus reserve truck sitting in our shop, in case we need it. So we just don't want to get in that situation.
But putting that strategic plan together, I appreciate that, but the support of the fiscal court and leadership of the fiscal court to do that, I appreciate it greatly. And I know people in the community. And then just look, your ISO rating going from 3 to 2, that is concrete evidence that we're doing a great job with our fire service, and I appreciate it.
Thank
you.
Appreciate it.
Now, Executive session is next on our agenda, KRS 61810-1C. That's for pending potential litigation.
Judge, before you go to that, we've already had new business, right?
Yes, sir.
I didn't know if you wanted to offer anything.
No, I apologize. Anyone have any new business else? Yeah.
Can I ask just about you mentioned it? What happened with the RV meeting last night? Like, was there any action taken?
There was no action last night. It was simply really a review of the draft and a Q&A session with the Planning Commission. The next step is a public hearing.
October 7th.
October 7th. That will be, I think, right here on October 7th.
What time? Do you remember?
I think 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock.
Is that their regular work session?
No, it's a special.
And they have that draft to present. And then from there, they will have a regular meeting, I believe,
On Thursday.
on Thursday. They will vote on that and then send it to us. And I'm just going to be, I think there's been a lot of thought process put into it. There's been numerous opportunities for public input. We specifically and intentionally recommended committee members that were from to have community voice in it, and community voice from that area that had a lot of concerns earlier in the past year. So I'm very grateful for the work that's gone in to get the draft to here, and I think the draft that we have is a representation of what people want and what's going to be presented to us. So, you like to make any comment?
No, you said everything that I would have said. I do have something else.
Yes, sir.
Last week, Judge and I had the opportunity to go and down to Weisenberger's Mill and notify them that they have been awarded a historical marker. And so I want to publicly thank Jared. Tommy Druin is the one who actually wrote the application to the Kentucky Historical Society, as well as Judge Covington. We had lots of people from the community give input on that, and we were notified in August that they got that, been the recipient of that, and that plaque will, or that marker will actually be put up in the summer of 2026. But just want to publicly thank everybody for their assistance, and it's a great thing for our community. Longest operating mill in the state of Kentucky, over 150 years. So
I know they were very pleased and proud, and the Weisenberger family, and I appreciate Jared and Tommy Druin also gave an assist just to continue to advocate for it and getting it over the finish line. Any other new business? All right.
Make a motion to go into executive session.
All right, so we have a motion, second from Mr. Hostetler. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We'll go. Yeah.
Can I have a motion to come out of it?
Motion to come out of executive session. Do we have a second? Second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We are out of executive session. Just let the record reflect that there was no action taken from that executive session. Is there a motion to adjourn? Motion. Is there a second? Second from Mr. Jones. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. We are adjourned.